I'm also surprised to see how few people are both following the game, like Rogue Trader on Twitch, but also streaming it. Like usually when I start and when I finish, it's about 20 or 30 people in total watching the game on Twitch, which is really not that many people. And I mean, including the people who are watching me. We activate the elevator. The lift call panel is unresponsive.
Rise to the top. Just get left in the dust.
Too hard for a simple monkey.
Wonder if that's... Is that a symbol we know? Like the pierced heart?
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Probably something Drukhari. And you know, just from the entrance, this seems like we're going to fight here again. There's blood.
Is there money to be made?
Adventures, where are you? Here you are. And just looking like nothing ever happened to him. And those foul aberrations and twisted creatures are just failed duplicates. Failed clones. Oh. What I just noticed is, I always thought he had like kinda like a snake tail, but it's not. He's somehow hovering. Let's see, it's connecting to something at his face. It's like something mechanical.
Keep your wits about you.
Cassia, what's happening with your clothes? Still experimenting. You're looking at several completely identical homunculi at work. A disturbing sight. The indistinguishable and familiar faces turn their attention toward you, morosely and almost indifferently. Hey, I just killed you. The homunculi starts talking over one another. You. One of them hisses through his teeth. How dare you? Echoes another. Show up here alive. A third one finishes. Oh, so you kind of split his conscience between multiple of them? Smart. This is even better though. Now I'll cleanse the shame of my death with your blood. And then transform you and the scum you've brought along into something useful. They're colors. Horrible, frightening, tattered shades. Only a madman could do something like that to himself. Cassia looks away, horrified. Kinda split his conscience, his soul, or whatever. Interesting. Yeah, we're definitely going to kill him again. I just hope this time it will be, like, enough. And Edward examines the homunculi. The homunculi are twitching slightly, as though from invisible electric impulses. They look virtually identical, yet each seems to be missing something. A limb, an implant, even a facial feature or two. The single gaze of the many faces no longer seems full of haughty superiority only. Some kind of a shared defect also shows in it. Yeah, hopefully he stays at it this time. I think maybe with purging this whole laboratory, at least the chances will be good. But I mean, the question is, does he have more like those laboratories and just more clones waiting somewhere else? I also wonder what this thing here in the corner is. What? I killed you with my own hands. A meek giggle rolls like a wave between the homunculi. They answer all at once, an ominous choir filling up the room. Have you forgotten that I am a great master of the flesh who've transcended death itself? Do you think it would befit me to let a monkey cut my path short? But you're not immortal, and we both know it. Yrliet clenches her fists and gives the homunculus a look that could incinerate him. I am going to kill you as many times as it takes, in the name of my fallen kinspeople, and in Krudorak's name. That's it. He is killable, so we can do this. have to do this. What is this place? It does not exactly look like a Drukhari laboratory. Though I gotta say, it kinda does. A stupid question, the answer to which is of no importance to one who is about to be taken apart. Wow. Why are you here and not in Gomorrah? Because of you, specimen. Because of your feeble wits and your deplorable stubborn reluctance to die. In the thick silence, several clicks are heard as the copies move their limbs in an insect-like fashion. But I had to finish what I started. Finish the masterpiece that had been taken away from me because of you. All because of you. So this weird, big thing you wanted to craft. Huh. The thing you also needed the suns for, right? But we don't really know too much about it, right? It's just a giant weapon. Well. Am I talking to one Taventius or several? Is each of you a separate individual? Maybe that helps us to defeat them. One, many. What difference does it make? I'm on my way toward infinity, specimen. Toward genuine, limitless immortality. But just on the way, so we can still stop you. You are just a coward hiding behind a panoply of masks. I will pluck off every last one. You know, that hole in the ceiling is a peculiar design choice. What happened here? The identical faces look annoyed and spiteful. For a moment, it seems the homunculi are about to reply in unison, but a barely perceptible electrical impulse stops them. One of them scoffs and mutters through his teeth. Just more proof of how unreliable partnerships with lower life forms are. Oh, so they allied with... Oh no, they probably allied with Winterscale, right? Because, I mean, lower life forms are obviously humans. And who else could it be? Oh lord. Winterscale, what the heck did you do? You notice one of homunculi glance at the hole in the ceiling. Fury contours the Xenos face. Taventius is unable to hide his anger at what happened. Whoever did that, and whatever it was, what they did, it infuriated him a lot. And still does. But it's really not good if humans are working together with Drukhari. Great. I mean, look at the Inquisitor, right? And Edward draws his weapon. Trust me, this time I will fail you much quicker than the last. I mean, we got a few levels, but I guess you also probably got stronger. You're different from others of your species, specimen. This time around, I want to study you much, and I mean much more thoroughly. Which necessitates your death. I hope dying once doesn't suffice for you.
No mercy to those who oppose von Valancius!
I will bathe in your screams.
How do they just jump out of the test tubes? How does this work? It doesn't even shatter or anything. Oh well. And there really is just a hole in here. I wonder what was below there. I mean, it's just like a small tower, right? 1120 HP. Yeah, we can do this. I mean, they are all pretty weak. I'm just thinking about where to put Cassia for maximum impact. I think we will just try to be quick. Because I guess like taking out Taventius quickly is a good idea. Yeah, quite a few enemies, right? Oh gosh, I didn't even see the ones behind us. Okay. Okay, we're putting Yrliet here, and then she can take care of the enemies behind us. Idira. Alright, here goes nothing. At least Cassia has a very good initiative like that. Who can Cassia attack? I think we could just go directly for Adventures. I think that's...
I won't stand for it.
Or, well... And if I go here... I guess I just can't see it. If I go here... I also don't want to get slaughtered, you know? I guess we're just not using zones for the time being.
Taking calculated risk is my second nature.
I don't want to go... Ooh, we could actually destroy those tubes. I don't want to go, like, directly to the enemies.
I'll see to it
I
personally.
don't know. I do have quite a few HP, but I don't want to risk it all.
I'll make it happen.
Come on, Cassia. Could I attack Taventius? I couldn't. Which is kind of weird, because I would expect that I can see him. But the game says no. I guess maybe in her full turn. But who to attack then? You. I mean, you could also go for big one here. But I think it might be a similar issue that I simply can't see him. We're going here. And just attacking the small ones. And maybe just saving up advantage.
Battlefields are always dry and scarlet.
This can't be over.
It is.
Refuse to bow.
Ulfar.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Okay, let's use the ring. Arrow. Is it Arrow Authority? No. Inquisitor's
On
Decree.
it.
Here it is. Kind of forgot how it looked. Cassia, here you go.
Accept your lot.
Here we go. And that's looking lovely. I like it.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Let's just hope she's not going to be obliterated.
Witness the fury of House Orcelio.
And I think we're just going to use the stare at Taventius.
Isn't this a job for the
over again.
serfs?
And he's reflecting a little damage. But that won't be too bad.
If I may, as duty demands.
Jeez. Cassia is just so incredibly strong. You know what? After this fight, we will up the difficulty.
I'm not accustomed.
Because, I mean, she got boosted. We have to consider that. I mean, just look at her perception level. Just focus of Edward is plus 69. Up to a total of 220. It is insane. Can we give someone else another turn? We could give Ulfar another turn. Let's go with that.
I'll paint your death in colors.
And we're just going to go here, shoot once, and then rush. Let me attack you as well.
The fame-hungry come.
Nice. And one. Rush up the stairs.
Wolves reign.
Oh, the horse has like crazy HP.
Feel the icy bite of death.
Cassia, even with nerf, is overpowered. It is so insane how much damage she can deal, right? Done. Back. Excuse me? What kind of thing was that? I just tried to get away and he just circled around me.
Challenge you, damn
Wow. Let's kick. Ha. And... Hit you too? I
Wolves
can.
ripped out in disgrace.
Between Ulfar and Cassia, no one stands a chance. I can't get closer to you, right? Oh well, more fire it is.
So it shall be.
What?
My hand is thunder. My strike is ruin.
Here we go. And now it's Cassia's turn again, because we gave someone else another turn. Oh no, I think that's next turn. But for a reason I forgot, we can attack anyway. Can I attack one of you? I get they're all way too far away.
Emperor,
Here we go.
give me strength.
It also feels kind of funny and rewarding to kill Drukhari with war powers. Like, kind of fitting. You indulge things that created Slaanesh. I can
Me?
give you warp.
If you insist, Lord Captain.
And once more.
I am a navigator. Try to die with grace, at least.
Quest updated. Curious is, the quest updated with killing not Taventius, but his experiment. And also not finishing the fight. Alright. True, it's still Edward. We're still on the first, technically on the first turn of the first character. Nice, right? Let's end this turn. Alright. Mark you as
I
prey.
approach the designated position.
Is that enough? Not really. Let's give some exploits. And then shoot.
If it serves your
Come on, be
cause,
enough.
another soul slips beyond the veil.
Nice, especially with the explosion.
I understand
Let's
your
just kill a small
intent.
one.
If
Go.
it serves your cause, I deal death with my
It
hands.
would have been nice to also destroy the test tube. I like the green explosion.
If I must.
Okay, it's Cassia's turn again, and as usual, she can just cross casually the whole battlefield.
I have read tomes of military tactics.
Should I have used press the advantage? I should have. Let's do it now.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Go.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered
Yeah.
around.
Okay. Camera, I don't know what that was, but not what I intended to do.
I will tear your heart out for this.
Did he try to shoot Cassia? I think he shot like everything else. Nice. Dream. Nice. We did it, and hopefully we kill Taventius for real this time. Let's see if he has something interesting on him. But before we do that, let's switch up the difficulty and let's go for hard. It feels kind of wrong to play an Owlcut game on an actually hard difficulty, looking at how Pathfinder worked out, but hey. I would just tell myself it's not the game which got easier, but it's obviously my skills. Anyway. Damaged data slate. Really? Everything the Archmachinator has on him is a damaged data slate? There's a dent on the data slate's screen, covered in flickering colored stripes. The readable parts are twitchy and contain repetitions. Mara prior studies pursued the goal of breaking new ground and recreating and reviving the specimen in the event of its death. The above-mentioned experiment laid the groundwork for modernizing and accelerating the recreation of a living organism from a minuscule sample of bone or muscle tissue. Every variety of living organism has been observed to release a number of chemicals at the moment of death that enables the creation of an entirely identical clone with intact memories of its prior life up to and including the moment of death, most vividly detailed as to both physical sensations and emotional distress. As mentioned before, even a tiny modicum of bone or muscle tissue is sufficient for reviving or creating an organism in an adequate lab setup. Bear in mind that work on creating the new body must begin before the third stage of decomposition has set in. So, but I mean, that means that someone had to take care of his body, right? So someone in Komorra picked, or he just keeps like the samples. But then again, he told us he remembered his own death. So someone went there to Komorra, took a part of his body, and then used that to revive him.
Miscalculations are for commoners.
Because I mean, we
don't
killed
make
everyone around
mistakes.
there.
I'll make profitable learning experiences.
Homunculus Injector, Archmachinator's Deceit. We don't have a Drukari. Blood Barrier Emitter. At the start of their turn, the wearer recovers wounds equal to the number of bleeding creatures. I don't think we caused that many creatures to bleed in battle, but hey. Okay, I'd say let's go for a level up, and let's hope it's not too long. But hey, we got a talent, so I guess it might be. Let's go for attention. Will mean that extra turns we provide are nicer. More armor, more dodge, more movement points for them until the end of combat. I'd say that sounds nice. I think those don't really do too much. We're not using the zones, actually. So... During zone... Let's go for that. Might give us another AP. So for Cassia, we're also going for maybe attention, but I think I remember that there was one here. Combat meditation will give us more willpower, so it will make our navigator powers even more powerful. So let's go for that. Meta. Could be nice. Enemies affected by the Navigator's abilities suffer a stacking -10 penalty to the next resistance test. I mean, why not? I wouldn't level up Idira, to be honest. We won't take that long. Contagion. Character's critical hit chance and the critical damage increased by 7% of their dodge. I think that's actually pretty nice. Of course, Heinrix has quite decent dodge. Psyker's armor increased by 5%. This bonus increases by 5% at the start of every round of combat except the first. Ah, also not too bad. Then again, we rarely do go down, right? Sanctified Slayer. Critical hit chance is increased by resolve %. 8%. I mean, here we go. Yrliet. Also quite nice stats we reached so far. The character's dodge reduction, that's 60, is higher than the enemy's dodge. Before applying the reduction, the character's damage against the enemy is increased by +1% for every 5% difference. Could be nice. Dealer, Destroyer. Every melee attack. Yeah. Eager for battle. Ooh, think I should have taken eager subordinates for Cassia and Edward. Would be the more aggressive option. Ah, well. Lethal threat. Enemies hit by the character with a melee attack. Yeah. Condition. If the character's armor penetration is higher than the enemy's armor, it probably is not. Shot through. More over penetration. Let's go for that. Right. Almost there. Velocity. Interesting that Ulfar also has quite decent dodge. Let's go for that. More critical damage and critical hit chance. And even more critical hit chance. Is it still a critical hit if it kind of becomes the normal hit? Of course, the high probability. The heck is... The space around the hollow is littered with lumps of broken concrete. A small wind gets into the room through the ugly hole in the ceiling, throwing up whirlwinds of stone dust at your feet. It is kind of funny that they always talk about the hole in the ceiling, and I mean, all we can see is the hole in the ground, right? Ah well. The hole in the left's vaulted ceiling and the hollow underneath point you to the obvious. Something broke into this room, ripped out a piece of the lab, and dragged it outside. You are, for now, mystified as to what that something was. And like by whom? If it was actually Winterscale, that means that he ended the corporation, and I mean that would be good. But I mean, due to what, and what did he take? Or was it even Winterscale? And Edward takes a closer look around. With the piled up rock, dirt and thick dust, you are able to make out part of fixtures that were ripped out of their sockets and thrown to the floor. Parts like these are used for fastening industrial girders in place at large manufactorums around the Imperium. So some kind of machine? And Edward tries to surmise what destroyed the lab ceiling. You study the edges of the breach carefully, reflect for a few minutes, and conclude that the hole in the lab ceiling was blown by several powerful directed explosions. After some more time, you note the characteristic marks on the debris and the walls. The ceiling was breached using melter charges. And Edward addresses his companions. What do you think about all of this? My kinspeople were unable to find this place. The Dark Ones would hardly have been content with a single trophy, even one as great as this. No, this was done crudely and quickly, and that behavior is more typical for the monkey. This world belongs to House Winterscale, but I refuse to believe His Lordship Caligus would ever collaborate with the Xenos. Dark red and brownish green would envelop his figure every time the subject of hunting the enemies of humanity was brought up. He despised them, hated them. Which is a very good point. But then again, maybe he's just bloodthirsty. He killed his Seneschal. What was here? Or I mean, it could also be the obvious partner, which I kind of overlooked, the Inquisition. Because I mean, we do know that they work together with the Drukhari.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Was that supposed to be a challenge?
Here we go.
Eyed monkey have abused the souls of the children of Assyrian for their own petty ambitions. What is that, if not evidence of...
Okay. The Voxcaster under your armor suddenly spits out a cacophony of sounds. The growl of chained swords, human screams, the screech of metal, and the rattling interference of an active Voxcast. Working the buttons, switches, and tumblers only makes it worse. And Edward tries to repair the Voxcaster. Ha! It's Skillfully wielding your tools, you open the device's case and check each part's condition. The Voxcaster does not enjoy your manipulations and hisses at you. Then the lumens on its screen glow red, and then the broadcast stops. But the calm does not persist for long. Right before your eyes, the device remains burst into purple sparks. The dead speaker emits the familiar voice of Speak with Gods, hoarse and feeble. Ooh. Okay, it seems like lots of letters are missing. I think it's actually nicer to try to read what it's supposed to mean, because otherwise it will be mainly gibberish, I think. O Starborn, Sky Heralds of the Eagle God, hear the prayers of your servant sent to you through the myriads forest of Quizatima. It takes me a while. The nightmare has become real. The darkness left the forest, but the light of the dying star can still be saved. The heart of the forest calls out for you. What happened in our absence? As soon as the priest's voice stops, your entire body arcs with a crack as if electrocuted. You are standing on the tips of your toes, staring at a crimson sky at dusk that has turned into an ocean of spilled blood. It still surfaces as broken by a hand with fingers covered in rings, and Caligus Winterscale emerges from the depths, only to take a single breath and disappear once more into the blood. It happens again and again and again, until he finally notices you. He throws out his hand and reaches for you. He reaches out. And the illusion fades away, leaving only a splitting headache in its wake. I guess this is another more than a pointer that Caligus is a servant to Koron, blood for the Blood God. And I guess the things we saw was the last moments of Speaks with Gods. Poor guy. Closing his eyes in satisfaction, oh gosh, the wolf says with deep feeling, "Do not try to drown out his voice, Eight-Footer. The All-Father sends us the music of his battle, calling us to the Raven's Feast. We must make haste." I don't know, Ulfar, if you got the situation correctly. I think this is not something we want to join in. And hey Alistair, nice to see you. And I hope you had a nice dinner with your grandparents. How was your week? How are you? And did you hear about the BG3 news? Ah! Idira digs her nails into her face, purple sparks gleaming at the end of her hair. The dusk sun has reached the treetops, and the crimson heart has struck its last beat. The dying stars have no hope left. Run, fools! Back! I could barely understand the speech of this monkey, but one thing is clear. The settlement needs help. I care little about the woes of those primitive creatures. I'm simply paying reparations for the pain that my kin have brought upon this world. Thanks for clarifying, Yrliet. And of course, we go to the village. Let's see if we can save anyone. But it doesn't seem like we can. Even more blood. Let's have a look.